Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is EverQuest Project 1999. And today we are on the green server. On the level, I think 9. What was we? I don't know. I think level 9. Level 9 wizard? Stuck in Blackburrow? Picking up where we left off last time? Kinda. We're just a little bit back, just so you can, a little recap. So we are going through Blackburrow just for fun, which I think is some of the most fun in the game. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but make sure it looks good, all right. Which I think is some of the best fun in the game, but I'll talk about that later. But we're stuck because I jumped down right here because we're gonna try to go up by that knoll and that knoll guardsman. We were talking about it like, hey, I could root the knoll and then we could fight the guardsman and then we could beat the knoll after that and we should be good. The guardsman was yellow. The knoll was blue. I think that's right about what we could have handled. But then I noticed there's another knoll guardsman here, an even knoll guardsman. So I'm like, dude, we can't beat a yellow, a white, and a blue right now, at least not at this point. So we were stuck. And, were we though? Because I was asking you guys, like, were we stuck? Because we can't go back up these waterfalls here. If you look to the right, we can't go back up these waterfalls. You go in the water, you can't jump that high. You can't swim up a waterfall. We're not stuck. Like, we can gate. We can stuck as in we can't choose to go back and go a safer route or go the way we want to go. We're kind of stuck the way we're going, and we have to fight our way out type stuff or start all over. So I call that stuck. But we notice there's another knoll here, so we would have got 3. If we go this way, we're going to get 3. We're planning on going that way. We ended up not being able to go that way, so we have to swim through the tunnel, and that's where we ended the last video, is swimming through the tunnel and going up the ladder and seeing the snakes. But we've since come back here, and so I have some stuff for you guys to watch. I have some stuff recorded. I have a lot of Wizard recorded. Just been easiest lately. You guys seem to like it. And since this one, we're going to finish this one off today. It's about another hour. I soloed at the Haunted Ruins, which I screwed up the audio on that one, but I'll probably still show it to you. I'll just have to not have the sound effects and record my commentary and stuff like that. I'll show you a little bit of it, me soloing at the Haunted Ruins. That's going to be next after this. And then after that, we went back to Blackburrow. We did this again, except for we tried to go different ways. And it was fun again. Like, this is so fun. But we come back across that part where we got stuck right here, and we wanted to get revenge, so we were going to fight them because we gained a level or two, and like they were maybe a little bit lower level at that point compared to us, and we figured, okay, let's beat these 3 now because we're level 10, level 11, level whatever it was. So we go back to that spot. I pull one of the knolls at that spot, and only 2 of them came. But I think it is what it is type thing. Like, we were lower level here. I think all 3 of them would have came. We were stuck, but since we leveled up, and I think they were a little bit lower level when we came back, like, it's possible you're not 100% stuck if you right there, but it's just like super risky. Are you gonna root one and then get 2, a white and a yellow on you like that? I feel like in that specific situation with those knolls and us at that level, we were stuck. But that spot, you're not always stuck. Like, the knolls can be a little bit lower level. You could be a little bit higher level. You might only get 2 instead of 3. Like, but anyway, this is where we had to go. Like, we have to go this way, or else we're gonna die, or else we have to gate. So this is the way that we have to go. And this is where a lot of the snakes are. If you want to fight the snakes, this is where you want to be, right here. You got like 4 right here, and then there's a little pit with like 3 more. You can get like 7 or 8 snakes, which is plenty for if you're soloing, at least. Even for a duo, it'd be pretty good. Just sit here on the snakes. You got to kill a couple of gnolls. I don't know. I'll show you. We're about to show you like all the kills pretty much for this camp. We didn't know it at the time that this was like the snake camp, but come to find out, like, Trey solos here after this, and he figured it out. And then we come back the next time, and he kind of says, like, this is where I was soloing. You do these, and these. And so now I know. So I might show it to y'all too, like, before I get too high level for the snakes. I might come in here and show you the solo camp. Because snakes are nice, dude. They drop 4. They drop like half a plat snake fangs sometimes, which is pretty good for this level. You could probably kill them all the way to like at least they're like 7 to 10, I think their level range, so maybe 8 to 10. So like you could sit here until maybe level 14, 13, something like that. And the good part, they're not social. They're not social, so it's great. You know, of course, null fangs are way better. I would say do the snakes if you're a very specific level, like level 12 or something like that would be good. And if you're solo, you could do this as I would say a duo for this would be like level 10, level 10-ish, 10, 11, maybe to get to 12. It'd be a good duo camp to get to 12. But then once you get to 12 for a wizard, I'm talking like for a wizard, because for his necro, he can solo it like he soloed it at like level 9 or 10 or something. So, but as this wizard, I could solo this like at level 12. I think that's what's going to be the case with the wizard until I get to a certain level, is I'm just going to have to like find a camp and like do it for a while. Like normally I'd move on from these snakes at a certain point, like on my Shadow Knight, on my Necro, on my Enchanter. But I think the Wizard's just going to have to hang around a little bit longer. He's going to have to kill more like mixtures of blue and green and stuff like that. He can't just move on when something turns green. He's going to have to stay because he's just not that, he's not that survivable. Oh, another thing that happened in between, so we do this, then I do the Haunted Ruins, then we come back and do this again, but we go different ways, so you're going to see completely different hallways and different ways when you do see Blackburrow pop up again. But I also bought some stuff for the Wizard. I don't know why I'm giving up all these spoilers of what's going to happen and stuff like that, but it's just I'm telling you where I'm at IRL. And so I'm level 12 right now on the Wizard. I got all my spells, and I did that strat where you take the Null Fangs. Somebody mentioned in the comments. You guys mention things, and I freaking do it sometimes. Like with the Nerondi's Lance and the Cloak of Crystalline Waters, and then now with the save all your Null Fangs until you're level 11 so you can ding to 12, which that worked perfectly, and I went all the way through 11 just on Null Fangs, so it's pretty sick. They still give lots of experience. It's crazy. Like, Null Fangs are so crazy. They give like a whole bubble. It's nuts. You know, pretty much. I don't know when they start sucking, but I think you could probably do Null Fangs to level 15 if you really wanted to. Just run through here and murder all the Nulls and take the Null Fangs back to Captain Tillin and turn them in, man. It's almost as good as like getting experience. Like even if the Nulls are all green, like it's almost worth it still. It's so good. I don't know why there isn't more people in here, honestly. If you want to level. But I got some equipment for the Wizard in the tunnel with my Necro, so I sat in the tunnel for not very long, you know. I didn't want to waste too much time on it or too much plat on it. But just to fill some slots type of stuff. So I got him a couple of rings, a couple of earrings. I think the earrings were the most expensive thing I bought. They were, I forget, they were like 600 plat for 2. Which I didn't really want to spend that much, but it was like the only thing available. So now he has pretty much almost his best in slot earrings, at least for classic. He doesn't yet. Like they're still on my Necro. I got to give them to him. So I haven't fought with my new equipment yet, but I got a couple of earrings, like black Electrum Sapphire earrings or whatever, the same ones that my Necro has. And then so it's going to add like 50 mana and like 70 HP or something. And then I got, I don't even remember exactly what I got, honestly. I got a book that you put in your offhand or your range slot. Like, it's pretty nice. And then I got, it adds like mana, intelligence. Pretty cool. It was cheap too. And then I got like a one-hand blunt that's like 1428, just because it was there. It was like some sort of baton, just because. And so I got the book that I'm going to hold for stats, and then I got the one-hand blunt that I'm going to use for smacking stuff right now, at least. Later on, hopefully I don't have to smack anything. I'm just casting spells, but for now, I do jump up and melee a little bit, so thought it'd be okay for a little bit. Might have been a waste of money, but it was so cheap. I think it was like 100 plat or 50 plat or something like that. It was very cheap, and it just happened to be there. And I was just looking to send him a bag of stuff. I want to give him like a Sherlock pack with a bunch of stuff in it, and then maybe not spend any more money on him for a while until he's like level 20 something. Yeah, we were talking about how we thought the wizard got invis early, but it doesn't. Wizard doesn't get invis until level 16, so that's why we're stuck. That's part of the reason we're stuck, because he could go invisible, and that way we could go through those knolls. That was another thing that somebody could say, well, you could go invisible, right? No, I can't. I can't do that till level 16. So the only options were to gate or to fight that fight and probably die. That was the only option. Or go this way. This is the other option. We took the other option, which ended up being the best option because it let us this way. We go on an adventure. There's danger around every turn. We don't know what's coming up, and we get experience and we have fun. And so getting stuck led us on an adventure that was fun. So I'm trying to think of a couple of the other things I bought. Like it was a baton that's like 1428. It was a book that has intelligence and mana. It was 2 earrings. I got 2 rings, but I can't remember what. A moonstone ring, which was like 20 plat or something, barely. It was like 30 mana. I got a moonstone ring, and then I got another ring. I think it was a decent ring actually. Like another like kind of like the ones I got for my ears. So something like that. And then I got like I filled a bag slot, so I got 8 things. So I got the earrings, the rings, the baton, the book. So I got 2 more things. I'm trying to remember what they are. What slots were they? I can't remember. But it was some cheap stuff that adds intelligence or mana. Man, I can't remember. It's like I'm blanking on what I bought, but it's whatever. You guys will see. I'll show it to you later. Um, but yeah, I sat there in the tunnel for a minute. I spent, I don't know, probably 1,000 plat max. It was probably less than 1,000. It's probably more like 750 plat or something that I spent, which was a little more than I wanted to spend, but overall wasn't too bad. I'm not trying to like twink this guy out or anything like that. I like fighting like this. I just feel like right now I have I'm way too handicapped. Like, I can cast one spell a fight, jump up and stab him. That's about all I can do. I pull. Sometimes I'm pulling with a spell. I'm stabbing. I might be casting another spell. That's it. I'm crowd controlling. So I want more mana so I can do more stuff. I'm not trying to get like a ton of HP so I don't die or anything. I just want more mana so I can do more spells. What are we talking about? Oh, we don't know. We're like we don't know what's up ahead. We're gonna have to find out. Like, let's see. So we just killed all the snakes. There was like 4 of them right there, I think. 3 or 4. And like I was saying, I think it'd be a good camp for, Necro could solo it. Snakes are great, dude. There's the 4 here, and then there's like 3 or 4 up ahead. But you have to go through a Knoll Guardsman to get to them. So you either have to fight it or you can invis past them, I guess. So my wizard's gonna have to fight them, so that might be a problem. But I don't even know if I can handle every single snake. I might just fight right here and kill 4 snakes. 22-minute spawn, 4 snakes. Me with my dad camps, like it probably wouldn't be too bad. But really, if I'm gonna dad camp, I think I'm gonna play the wizard. Like I'm gonna duo. I'm gonna like be actively playing the wizard right now, like recording a video. If I have time to like dad camp something, I'm probably gonna play my Shadow Knight or my Necro and try to get some plat. So we haven't abandoned either one of those. I just want to save up. I kind of want to save up a bunch of plat and get my Shadow Knight some really good gear, so that way I can have some fun getting from 56 to 60 instead of regretting like, oh, I got to 60 and. You know what I mean? Like, I could definitely grind it out to 60 with the equipment I have, but I want to have some fun. I want to crawl some dungeons, like duo, like maybe group, and I want to have good gear when I'm doing that. And at 56, I should have some pretty good gear. It's not like I'm not trying to struggle anymore. Like right here on this wizard, I'm kind of trying to struggle because it's fun. All right, I see this Knoll Guardsman up ahead, and there's a door. So I don't know what's behind that Knoll's Guardman. I don't know what's behind that Knoll. I don't know what's behind that door. So I go ahead and root him. I think he was like yellow, isn't he? You guys saw. I think he's like a yellow null guardsman, so if something else had come there, it would have been pretty dangerous. So we were kind of worried about it. Like, we knew we could kill the 4 snakes. We knew we'd be fine after we killed the snakes. It was that guardsman up ahead that was making me nervous. Like, we were going to be stuck this way and that way, and then we were just going to have to gate out, and it was going to be like, oh, man. It's hitting me for double 22s, knocking out a bubble of my health. But now he's dead. Get out of here, buddy. And nothing else did come. But there is, like, a pather, I think. So if you pulled him at the wrong time, you could get 2. So our worries weren't unfounded. But that's the way I kind of like, if I don't know what's up ahead, I'll kind of root what I can see. And then if something else is linked to it, it's going to come running. And at least that one thing is rooted, and we can kill the other thing that runs to us. As long as like 2 or 3 other things don't run to us, that would be like Gate City. But that's usually our plan. You'll see me say it a lot of times in here. I'll be like, I don't know what's up ahead. I see this. I'm going to root the thing I see. If nothing comes, then that's cool. We can bring the thing I rooted. I'll just blast it a few times. It'll wear off and it'll come running. Or you can dot it up and we can sit here for a minute while it's rooted. If I root it and one thing comes, well, that's fine too. We'll keep it rooted. We'll kill the one thing that comes. And then we'll kill the rooted one after that. And then the other thing is, like, if I root it and 2 or 3 things come, like, we have a threshold. If 2 things come, we might be okay. I can root another one. We can kill one real quick. We can deal with the other one, and then we can deal with the rooted one. Like, we could probably handle 3 if it starts via 1 being rooted, and maybe they're not like yellows and whites. If it's like blues, we could definitely handle 3. But if I root 1 and then 3 things come, our immediate plan is just to gate. Just gate. Let's not screw around. Like that one time in the last video, part 1 of this, where there was 5 nulls. Even if all 5 of those nulls are green, like, I had 0 mana, so we had to gate. We had to get out of there. Like, if I had full mana and I had 5 green nulls on me, I don't even know if they were green or what. I think it was a mixture of green and blue. Like, we might have tried it, but having 0 mana after rooting them and stuff, like, we just had to go. All right, I think he's AFK for a minute here, so I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. I don't have a lot of time today. I feel like I'm saying that every video. It's just been a very busy holiday. It's the last day of the month for me, y'all. This is, today's the last day I can get any kind of income from this month. So if you guys want to hit me up with the super thanks, today would be the day. Tomorrow, completely different. I have to wait super long if you do it tomorrow. Today, though, I get it the soonest. It helps the most. So just saying, if anybody out there wants to help, keep this month a decent one. We were down bad, like, before the chatathon. We had a chatathon, and that kind of helped a little. And then somebody yesterday did a $100 donation in one of my streams, which brought us back to, like, Doggy Paddle City, like, where we can probably keep it going at our very slow, minimal rate of barely justifying keeping this going type of stuff. So if you want to make it a little better, that'd be nice, but whatever y'all can do, it's fine, I guess. I'll take it this month, I guess. But here's the rest of the snakes. There's this little pit right here. Do I still have it on 2 times? Yes, dummy. Or did we just kill something? Oh well. I'm just gonna keep it going. I can't. I got a whole hour of footage left. Alright, I abandoned ship on that cast because I seen that null patrolling out. I wasn't sure, like, I didn't want to get a bunch of nulls. So I'm kind of just looking around. I don't know. We can go through that door. There's a door to the right, and then there's a path to the left. So there's 3 different ways to go, which turns out there's only 2 different ways to go because that door on the right is like a fake door, or it's locked or something. All right, so I pull the snake, probably with that shock of fire, 45 damage, 46 damage shock of fire. Hitting them with my... Right here I'm using I think a worn greatstaff at the time. Kind of switched weapons a few times. I started with like a dagger that you get from your guild. And then I switched to a worn greatstaff. I have a cracked staff just in case I want to work a one-hand blunt. And then I switched to a giant snake fang. Start stabbing them again. It's been my story so far with melee weapons on a wizard. And now I have a 1428 one-hand blunt that I'm going to give him, which hopefully helps a little bit when I don't have mana and I have to do melee. Two-hand blunt 29. But one thing, like one bad thing, I've been jumping around between two-hand blunt, one-hand blunt, piercing. I really need to just stick to one. It's probably going to be one-hand blunt. I think it needs to be something one-hand, because I'm always going to want something in that other hand. Eventually, I'm probably going to have just stats in both hands and not even melee. Yeah, you see what I'm saying in the chat? That was our plan. Like, if there's more than two, just gate. I didn't want to die, but, you know, I'm cruising. We're cruising for a bruising, but we're not trying to die. We're not going to make it easy on them killing us. This room kind of looked the coolest out of any room. This might be the thumbnail. I don't know. At least there's, like, spikes on the ground. It's kind of dark, though, but, dude, I can't do a dark thumbnail. It's just always perform worse. But this is some of my favorite things to do in this game right now is, like, crawl a dungeon. Kind of like we did in Nagafin's Lair. That was fun, too. I was trying to think of another time that we did this, and I think Nagafin's Lair was the most recent time that we did it like this. Like in Crystal Caverns, we didn't really, because we knew the camp that we wanted to go to, and we kind of just went to it, and we were killing geonids. We did a little bit. We went down the spider way, we went down the terror way. So we do this quite a bit on duo sessions. We crawl through dungeons like this, and it's fun, man. It's really fun. Especially if you don't know the dungeon, if you don't know it like the back of your hand. Which I barely know any dungeons like the back of my hand because they're so like twisty, turny, and so many different ways to go. It's hard to know a dungeon like the back of your hand. So I'm trying to think of one that I would even, you know, like Lower Guck. I'm starting to get there. I wouldn't want to dungeon crawl Lower Guck because I already kind of know. Except for the live side. That's why I'm like wanting to do the live side so bad because I've never crawled that. I have no idea what I'm doing or where I'm going or anything like that. And some of these ones where you look at the map on the wiki and you're like, what the heck? You can't even understand what they're saying. You can't, like, it just don't, like, the maps don't make sense until you learn the freaking dungeon on your own by playing the dungeon. Then you look at the map and then it makes sense, kind of. But the purpose of a map on the wiki, in my opinion, is for people that don't know the dungeon, that want to be able to navigate around and, like, find certain spots. But like the Blackburrow map, the Guck map on the wiki, they both suck. Like you can't tell what's going on. Like there's so many maps on the wiki that you just can't tell what's going on. They need to make them better. I don't know how. You know, there's layers, and I get it. Like it's kind of hard to make a map, but I don't know. So waiting on this knoll to patrol through. We already killed all the snakes. We didn't want to, you know, it's just smart to kill this guy. Got a knoll. Shooting a shock of fire. Smacking him with my worn greatstaff. So, as this wizard right now in this session, my main priorities are crowd control. Pulling to where we don't get a bunch. Crowd control. You know, I'm kind of leading the way. So, I'm the one that could get us into, like, a bunch of trouble, so I'm just trying not to do that. And then crowd control and pulling. And then, you know, a little bit of damage. And then I'll melee a little too. Like, that's my, you know, kind of. Oh, we got a null guardsman through this door. So we figured out that right door does nothing. I clicked on that. It doesn't open. We went the left way, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go that way. There's a couple nulls up there. I don't know if there's more. So I felt like going this way for some reason. There was one null guardsman. I hit him with the spell. It didn't look like anything was too close to him. That might have been a little risky, but we got it. He was blue. Okay. He was blue. This guardsman we just killed was blue. So even if something else had come, I wasn't too worried about it. Yeah, dude, the only other thing is me getting fat so fast. Look at me, I'm 148 over 75. That's almost double my weight allowance. So I have to, like, give him... Normally, the way we do this is I'll loot everything, and then I sell after the session, and then we split the proceeds. And that works perfectly fine on my Shadow Knight, because my Shadow Knight has like awesome bags and tons of strength, and usually he doesn't get too heavy, you know, like no matter what we're doing. But on this wizard, bro, it's just like immediately, like 15 minutes into the session, I'm starting to get heavy. So I don't have any bags, and he has no strength. So I have to like give a bunch of stuff to Trey here occasionally, so I can keep picking stuff up. Because we're kind of cheapskates, both of us, I feel. Like, I don't think he would be mad at me saying that. Like, we both want... We're not gonna, like, not pick... I hate that, dude. I don't know. That's why I think this is why, like, I like this. It's one of my favorite things to do is, like, crawling through a dungeon where I could definitely die. If I do anything wrong, I can definitely die. And I'm on characters that aren't super, geared out. That way I'm not just destroying the whole zone with no fear of dying. Like, I'm not going through here with a buddy that's level 60 that power levels me or watches my back or anything like that. We're doing it the right way. We're doing it at appropriate level with appropriate gear, the way these dungeons were meant to be done. And I like that. That's what I like. That's what I want to be doing. So, we also want the loot. We don't want to like just leave it laying all over the place. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like seeing that. When somebody's power leveling, I'm like, tee hee hee, you know what I mean? Like, what a little baby bitch getting power leveled. That's how I feel. And then, like, when somebody's running through a zone, just murdering everything and leaving corpses everywhere because they don't even need the loot, like, that's alright. That's not like that as bad as getting power leveled. You did all the work to be able to twink yourself, to be able to make that character, to then be able to do that. But it's not like something I really want to do. I mean, one day I definitely do. I want to experience that one day. Like, power leveling, I never want to experience. I think that's little baby bullshit. But, like, having a super twinked out ult, I definitely want to experience it one day, but it's not as fun. I mean, it's its own kind of fun, I guess, but it's not challenging fun. It's more like the hero's journey fun. Which, I don't know. That's how I would get my hero's journey fix in, too. Like, to be able to just run around on God mode and kill everything, you have to put in a bunch of hard work. You have to, like, get a level 60, you have to, like, get a bunch of plat, you have to probably do that multiple times, and then you have enough, then you build up a bunch of plat, like hundreds of thousands of plat, and then you buy all the best in slot for a certain class, like a rogue or a ranger or something, and then you give them best in slot at level 1, and then you get to run around and play the hero's journey on this game. Mrs. Sunny's sick, and she's at work. So I have to pay attention to my phone right now. She's, like, really sick. I don't know if she's got the vid or what. Don't get me wrong, she's only working for, like, a couple of hours. She's, like, the big boss, and she has to do inventory, and nobody else knows how to do it or something like that. So, I don't know, man. I feel bad for her. Man, somebody's blowing up my mother effing phone right now. Okay. That's nothing important. So she's sick, so I gotta pay attention to my phone. She got up late today. Dude, we both set alarms, right? I work from home. I don't have to get up and go clock in anywhere or anything like that. I take care of the house. I'm like Mr. Mom, plus I work from home. I do 2 different things from home, including this, which I wish it made more money, but it's like just enough to justify it. Like the other day when I did the chatathon, right? I streamed for like 5 or 6 hours, but it was, justified by like what I made from that stream. And then yesterday she was sick, and I had to like make her leave the room just so I could, you know what I mean? Because she likes to watch her shows and talk, and it's like I can't be having like copyright issues because she's watching Housewives super loud. So I have to like, can you please like let me record for like 1 hour? I'll do my best to. So she had to like leave the room for a little bit. I hate doing it, but it's like I can't do my job unless I have like an empty room with nobody making noise or like playing super copyrighted stuff super loud. Like, you could be quiet all you want, but you'd have to get some headphones, watch it. They don't want to, like, I don't know. Obviously, they could stay in here if they did a bunch of stuff to accommodate, but they don't want to, so they have to leave. But she was sick yesterday, so I was like, I gotta hurry up on this live stream. I gotta do like only an hour today or whatever. So, but then somebody ends up donating $100, and it's like, well, she'll understand, like, because of that, right? And it was true. She ended up understanding, like, oh, okay. If I had sat in here for 4 hours and made no money, and she was sick, or even if she wasn't sick, she'd be like, what were you just doing, bro? Like, that's comes with these videos too, man. Playing the game, recording it, making videos, like, it all takes time, and it all takes away from other things, and then people are asking you what the hell you're doing, and anyway, I don't know why I'm saying all that. I wasn't really, like, selling y'all on a super thanks or anything, but... Oh, I was saying that she's sick, and that's why I gotta hurry up today. And yesterday I went like 2.5 hours instead of 1 hour because I feel like I owe it to people. Like, you know what I mean? If you're gonna donate to the stream, I want to keep the stream going. You know, if there's $0 on the stream, then I don't feel like I have to keep. I'll just do like an hour or something, just get the content out there. But same with these, man. I would put out more videos. Like right now, I'm kind of only doing 1 a week or 2 a week. If it was like, if we were getting way more views or a few more super thanks, like Gems of War is literally keeping this content on the channel right now. You have them to thank. Because YouTube doesn't pay a lot. You know, you have to get like 1 million views to make any kind of money. And that's slightly exaggerating. But I think some people don't understand like how you get paid on YouTube and stuff. Like, YouTube is not giving you much money for 300 or 500 views. You get like $1 for that. You know what I mean? Maybe not $1, but it's pretty close. So, to be worth the time and effort of me spending 3-4 hours on it, I'd prefer to get more than $1. You know what I mean? But I have fun. I have fun too, and I like putting out the content. I'm getting all the Null Fangs, y'all. That's one good thing about this duo. He's an Ixar. He can't turn in Null Fang, so I get every single Null Fang. But it's kind of a weird conundrum because I'm a human wizard, and he's an Ixar necromancer. So he's already at a 20% experience disadvantage because they have a penalty. Like, Ixar have a penalty because they got regen, because they got extra AC, blah, blah, blah. They're at a 20% disadvantage on their experience penalty. And then he can't even pick up Null Fangs and turn them in. So I get 20% more experience off of every kill. And then I get all the Null Fangs, and I can turn in all the Null Fangs. So, yeah. Like, at the moment, I think I'm, like, level 12.5, and he's probably, like, level 11, maybe, just freshly turned 11 or something. So he really needs... He's trying to solo in between to keep up. Alright, anyway, we've moved ahead a little bit here. There's another door, and then there's a walkway with the Gnoll's guardsmen. We kind of fought through this little area here. There's an elite that way, so we're gonna stay away from that. So we're gonna have to go straight ahead. You know, we come back across that bridge in the next video. I'm telling y'all, I try to go different ways. So if you see it pop up again, like blackburrow pop up again, we went completely different ways. We ended up finding like where we were in this video, but only for like a second. We're not really just going back through the same... You know, like in that snake pit where we went down to the spiky snake pit, and there was a way to the left and there was a straight. We went straight in this video. Well, in the other one we go left. Or we end up coming from the left to the snake pit. And then we come to this and we go right instead of straight. You know, we go all the ways we didn't go last time pretty much. And we come from a different way. We come from an entirely different way, and then we find this, but then we go the different ways we didn't go last time, which takes us a whole different way. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'd totally recommend this to y'all. Like, play the game. You know, you have to find a duo, though, I guess, because you can't really, like, solo your way through dungeon. You could. If you're, like, a Necro or something, or an Enchanter, you can definitely, like, dungeon crawl at appropriate level through dungeons and stuff. But It's fun as a duo too, because you have somebody else's life in your hands. Like, it's a team effort. Another time that I can say that this was really fun was when we tried to do the Ghoul Lord, where we were trying to like kill every named in Lower Guck, and it was a team effort, and we were accomplishing it. Like, we did Frenzy, we did Scent, we did Archmagus. So I was like, hey, let's see if we can do the Lord. And we ended up technically, I think, doing the Lord. Like, we never saw the Lord, but we got in the room, we killed the PH, killed the PH again. Like, I consider that a success. Semi-success. You know, I'd preferred to see and kill the Lord, but... And so that's still in the back of my head. I'd love to, like, see and kill the Lord, but, it is what it is. We also crawled all the way up Tower Frozen Shadow. Like, that was a goal. We went from floor 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7. We got all the keys. We killed the final boss in Tower Frozen Shadow, so that was a thing we did. Another fun thing that I can remember doing. I'm gonna, like, remember this stuff for a long time. And then it's on video for you guys to watch, too. Like, it's not just me. Alright, I'm looking down here, like... Sorry, I should be talking about the video more, but... Ooh, he got his ding. Bang. I think he just dinged to level 10 there. Something ran off and we were worried about it, but I think it worked out. Got a Null Guardsman through the door, too. He's white. Looks like there's nothing else around. I might end up rooting it. A bunch of y'all said hi to me in the tunnel the other day. Shout out to y'all. Somebody gave me something. That's what I'm worried about with the dude that has a similar name to mine. Like, somebody gave me something for free in the tunnel. Which was super cool. I don't usually, like, I'm not like trying to get stuff for free or like trying to get buffs or trying to get reses for free or ports for free or anything like that. You guys know that because a bunch of y'all have come up to me and been like, hey, if you ever need a port, just hit me up. And then I never hit you up. But, you know, if it happens like organically and I'm in the mood at the moment, you know, I might take you up on your offers. For like, if you have the exact thing I need and you're like, hey, just take it, I might just take it. So if you think I'm gonna like always decline, you might not want to offer because I might take it. So, but a lot of the time I will decline. Like probably 75% of the time I decline, or I never call on you. But I do appreciate it. You know, all the people over the years that have said, hey, if you need a port, hit me up, or hey, if you need a res, hit me up, or like Captain out there, if I needed something. You got a res or a port probably, don't you? Or cursory. Shout out to you. I mean, we haven't come across, you know, we haven't seen each other in a while, but we was in the Tower of Frozen Shadow. You're the one that helped us kill like Serena, and I remember that stuff. Like, that's a core memory now for me, pretty much. I remember doing the Ghoul Lord with Trey, and that was just like super tough. It was like so. Like, it's how you make these memories, y'all. You know what I mean? It's like stuff that's difficult that you overcome. If you're just running around on God mode all the time, it's not going to build a memory, like a good memory. Like, you're not going to remember that crap. If you're getting carried all the time, like a woman, like, which isn't even disparaging to women. I'm just saying, like, you know how a man will carry a woman over a puddle, like back in the day? It's just a reference. I'm not, you know, women are strong. My woman's strong. You guys are awesome. A lot of them keeping this channel going right now, honestly. But, dude, you make so many more, like, super core memories, and you feel so much more like you accomplished something and whatnot if you play the game a certain way. And I'm not saying you have to. Like I said earlier, like, if you want to tweak something to F out and then just destroy everything, I want to do that too one day, but I just want to earn it first. I want to earn it first. I'm going to have to sit here and get hundreds of thousands of plat first, right, to earn it, to then go do that. That's why I don't look at that as the same way I look at power leveling or something. Power leveling, I think, is never a good idea. You know, with very small, very 1% exceptions, like obviously sometimes you're gonna want a cleric to res, and you're in a guild, you're trying to build a guild, and you guys need another cleric to do some reses, but you already have one, but sometimes they're not online, so you want to make somebody else have a cleric that can res. So I get it. in the very, very specific situations. Look, the Null Commander, dude. We see the Null Commander multiple times. He's such high level, though. Like, who the hell would come in here and kill this guy? Like, I think he drops Rusty Spike shoulder pads, which are pretty good. Like, my Shadow Knight wore those for a minute. Okay, so I go in there, and boom, a couple of them run through the door. I had no idea. Like, all I know is I'm not going towards that Null Commander, but I have no idea what's to the right. And to the left, there's multiple Nulls, so I go towards the door. This is actually a pretty tough fight, I think, here. We should probably watch it. What do we got? 2... Okay, that's just a Null. So I got the Guardsman rooted. 2 of them... Ooh, he's red. Oh, no. The Commander was red. So I got the Guardsman rooted. I'm going to keep him locked down while we kill this Null. Boom, dead. So we're completely fine. I can't remember if we get into, like, any kind of super crazy fights. We get into a bunch of, like, fun fights where we had to do the right thing to win, but I don't know if we got into any, like, super crazy, like, 3 null, 4 null fights. We were being pretty careful. We got this Guardsman. I kept it locked down while we killed the Null. It was a green Guardsman. Huh. I wonder why they came running like that through a door then, if one of them was green like that. I don't know. But this is kind of getting hairy. There's a red up ahead. There's 3 different ways to go. I know y'all are watching. I'm trying to talk, and I'm like talking about other things, and sometimes I'm not talking about the footage, so sometimes I'm like looking away from it for a second. So, but you guys are seeing every single second of what we're doing here. And I already lived it, experienced it. All right, there's a bunch that way. So we got a scrawny Null, which is green. Got a regular Null, which is green. Got a Guardsman, which is yellow. So that situation is probably doable. But I want to see what is through this door. And also that other way with the yellow and the 2 greens, you don't know. There could be something else in there. And even if there's another blue or something in there, that could be hard because you'll have 4 on you. Even if 2 of them are green, like just the mana cost of like keeping them locked down and not adding extra damage to you, like it's tough, man. I think like even like 2 blues and 2 greens would be tough. Like we could do it. We'd probably have to kill the greens first. We'd probably have to root the 2 blues and then just let the 2 greens hit us while we kill them and then kill the blues. But when it's a weird mixture like that, it's like, you know, you got like a yellow and then you got like, imagine having like a yellow, a white, and 2 greens. Would you be able to beat that? Like, I don't know if we could. What do you do? I'd probably want to try to lock down the 2 greens and keep them to the side. And then maybe try to lock down the white and then kill the yellow first, when usually you do it the opposite way. But I'm not going to want to be sitting there. There's no way I can lock down like a yellow, and probably can't lock down a white for very long. But I can lock down some greens. But it's also like you want to just kill the greens and get them out of there so you can deal with the other hard stuff. At this level, like at a high level, I would probably kill the greens real fast and then deal with the white and the yellow. But at this level, it's like, I don't know, everything takes mana. I run out of mana so fast, just any extra damage on us. I don't have much HP. It's like, but look at this one. We got 3 nulls. We got a blue. Our root one. I think we're good here. Like 3 nulls isn't bad. I'm gonna root another one. This is my crowd control. Low level crowd control. Use root. Can at least buy you some time. And we got another null here. So 3 nulls. Super fun. It's like the more you have, the more urgent it is to knock that first one down quickly. Get it out of there. You also don't want to blow all your mana, though. It's like super fun. I keep saying super fun. I should probably put that in the title or on the thumbnail. Super duper. It's super duper fun, guys. How many times can I say it? Totally recommend just crawling through a dungeon, either solo, like with appropriate class, necro, enchanter, something like that. Even a mage would be kind of fun if you do it right. Or a duo like this. Like this wizard would never be able to do this without the necro's help. No freaking way. I'd be dead. I'd have been dead after the snakes, probably. I would have died to that yellow guardsman 100%. Like, there's no way I could have ever did that without this duo. So, shout out to Trey. This has been really fun. Like, it's been weirdly super fun. Said it again. So, hey, if you're burnt out a little bit, maybe you've been playing a level 60, a level 50, a level 40. Totally, it's the same thing with Gems of War. Like, I was burnt out on my main account. I was at the tippy top of the game with, like, everything in the game. I was using, like, the most powerful team for everything and just wiping stuff out easily all the time. Every once in a while, there'd be the highest level epic trial fight or the highest, or, like, a pure faction level 500 or something that would be difficult for me, and I would still beat it on my first try and stuff like that. So, I'm like, I was getting bored, so what I did was restart the game, like the whole game over. And it's more fun now, because I don't have like all the best troops in the game or all the best weapons or a bunch of stats or anything like that. Sometimes it's fun, like if you get burnt out, just start over, do an alt. And don't like super twink it out, at least not at first. You know, let yourself struggle a little bit. Alright, this part is hard because this is where we got that train from that one time. This is right above those snakes we did in part 1. Like the first snakes, where we got that huge 5-null train. So I think we just killed some of the train right before that. You know, those 3 nulls was part of that train. Now we have, there's at least 3 or 4 over there across that bridge. This is kind of difficult. There might be one to the right too, if I don't know. There's snakes down there. Okay, there isn't over there. So we have a pat. There's 4 over there and a patroller. We got a white. We got a green. Scrawnies are probably green all the time by now. And when we do come back through here, we're a little bit higher level, so there are more greens and stuff, but also, like, you just have to kill more snakes and kill more, like, guardsmen and stuff. And the gnolls still give experience, even though they're greener. But they also drop fangs. It's still good. So level 8, level 9, level 10, 11. Those are the good levels to be, like, cruising through here. Yeah, see, that's what we're saying in the chat. Like, this is where I think we got trained from last time. Looks like one patrolled on us from behind. So that could have been even worse earlier. But we're still good, man. We're handling it like champs. Nothing has really even got us too close to dying yet. This is like part 1 where we were closer, I think. With that train and everything and having to gate out for sure. We've been handling this, dude. Somebody in the comments said thank you for, I made a couple of times. You guys are awesome. I love your comments. And somebody thanked me for like a courier video I made a long time ago. And they were like, I don't know, like the way I over-explain things. And like, I think YouTubers, I don't know. I don't want to say like how you should or shouldn't do things. But I like the way that I use my mouse on the screen. I know it's not optimal. And, you know, hotkeys and macros are way better for, like, playing the game at a high level. But for, like, YouTube purposes, you can see every single thing I'm doing. If I was using all macros and hotkeys, it's harder. It's definitely harder to see what I'm doing. At least. You might be able to, like, catch certain things, like, depressing on the screen, maybe, but it's way easier just to follow my mouse if you want to see what I'm doing, like, the cursor. Like, I use Q to auto-attack. I'm not doing, like, you know? If I really get into it and I want to, like, raid and play at a high level, I'm definitely going to start using more hotkeys and stuff. But, you know, previously it was my laptop. My laptop was trash. Like, it didn't do anything I wanted it to do, so I had to use my mouse. So I kind of got used to using my mouse because of that old crappy laptop. That just nothing worked right. And I've kind of carried it over since people said, like, hey, it's nice that you do that because we can see exactly what you're doing on the screen. And, like, so I haven't had the motivation to start playing the other way or anything. A pet with a big old scythe, a necro, dotting them up, you know, snaring. kind of being, you know, the pet plus the necro, decent amount of durability there. And then you got me for some firepower, for some leading the way, for some crowd control. Some pulling, some crowd control, some firepower. So that's what I was talking about earlier. I got some gear. Like, I'm going to have over, I think, 200 extra mana at least. Kind of overestimated when I was talking about it last time with, like, what the rings and stuff would give me. Thought it was, like, 65 HP a ring, but it's 35. I think it's 60 total or 70 total. But still, like, I'm going to have at least 200 extra mana after I give that stuff to him. And, my biggest spell right here is 40 mana, so that's 5 extra casts. Which is pretty sick. Alright, we got a couple, but it looks like only 2. We got a blue and a guardsman. Trying to see if they're linked or not. They're not. So I rooted the null. I kind of need a med, so I just rooted it. And probably going to sit. If he wants to, he can go get it. I did that. I would do that sometimes. Like, I'll root to see if the other one's going to come or not, and then if it doesn't, I just tell him, like, hey, we can either wait for the root to wear off or you can go get it if you want. I need to meditate. Like, my mana's always such ass. That's the only bad part of doing it like this. But I still prefer, like, pulling to a spot and not playing the game like WoW and instancing it up and stuff like that. But it is fun sometimes in these dungeons, because it's not the same. What I don't like is when people are running all over the zone with, like, 6 twinked characters, or you don't take people's mana into account when you're doing that. You're like a tank or a melee, and you're just running from spot to spot to spot, and, like, your casters never have time to sit and meditate. You gotta take that into account. I've been in groups before where I'm like, dude, like, this is annoying. I never have time to meditate. Like, why am I even in this group? Like, I never have mana. I can't do anything. What's the point? But, like, kind of like going from spot to spot, but, like, sitting in between is kind of cool. Now I'm kind of being a little bit of a hypocrite. It's like the way you do it, I guess. Like, tanks and melee have to realize that the casters have to sit sometimes, and you can't just run around like a chicken with your head cut off. What you gotta do, though, is let them die if they're gonna do that. Like, I have no mana, I'm the healer, you're not letting me sit, so now you're dead. Or if you're a caster, just don't cast. Like, alright, fine, I'll just follow you around then. You gotta make them pay for doing stuff like that. Okay, so I got 10, but I fell, and there's gnolls down here. So Trey's up above, and I'm down below. As above, so below. What other YouTube channels do you guys like watching? Like, I mean, you could put EverQuest channels in there if you want. You put my ops and my competition in there. No, I'm just playing. The St. Gems of War. I love everybody. But, except for one. I don't like that one dude. GG. Kind of stupid little fruity name is that anyway? The THJ guy. He said he was like, I hate when people talk like super crazy bullcrap and then people just keep watching them anyway. He said that Project Quarm got gutted when they bowed down. It was All Secret's fault that THJ got shut down and stuff like that. And it's all a bunch of bullcrap, and people still watch that person like after all that bullcrap. It's so crazy to me. You literally see somebody like just it happens on Gems of War all the time with like these other channels. They'll say something that's not true just to get views, right? And then it hurts the viewer because the viewer thinks that thing is good, so they go get it with their resources. Now they wasted their resources, right? So I'm like the level-headed one that I'm not just gonna say something's good for views. I'm not gonna tell like they love soul farming and gold farming on Gems of War, right? For some reason. It's something we used to do in the game like 3-4 years ago. We don't need to do it anymore because there's new events and new ways of getting stuff that you don't have to do that. Well, other channels know, like they can get views by doing a gold farming or soul farming video. So they still do them just for the views, even though it's not best practice and it's just wasting your time. They still do them, which I think is despicable. But you know, I call it view farming. They're view farming. They're preying on your like want for, you know, they're giving you what you want, but it's kind of like giving a person, you know, drugs that's a drug addict or something. It's not a good thing that they're giving that to you, because they're not teaching you how to do it the right way, the faster way, the easier way. They're showing you an old ass way that uh is a waste of your time now, kind of. But they still do it just to get views. So I don't know. I don't like that crap. That annoys me. Or they'll like a new thing comes out and they'll like be talking about how awesome it is, even though it kind of sucks. Then everybody wastes all their resources getting that thing because they watched your video saying it was so awesome. So then they waste all their keys, like opening chests to try to get it. And then they get it and it's ass. And then they just wasted all their keys. But that person gets more views because they're saying how awesome it is. And then there's people that already got it that just want to hear that it's good because they already got it and they can't take it back. It's the type of thing where you spend your resources to get something and you can never get those resources back. You can't like sell the thing back. You can't. Once you get it, you use that stuff and that stuff's gone forever. So it's really irresponsible to not be truthful as to whether the thing is good or not, because a bunch of people, hundreds of people or thousands of people are going to waste resources trying to get the thing if you say it's good. You're supposed to be an authority on the game and know what you're talking about, but all you really care about is getting views. That's the kind of people I don't like. So the GG guy just spouting off nonsense, and once somebody does that, like, why would you keep watching them? I don't get it. Unless they like issue an apology or take the video down or something like that. I've said things that have been wrong before. Like, I'll either like correct myself or apologize or take the video down. Sometimes it's an honest mistake, but sometimes it's just a crazy view farming thing where they did it on purpose, which that's what I don't like. Or they find out that they were wrong and they leave it up because it's getting views and they don't want to take it down because they're greedy and they want the views. Just don't like that crap. But so there's only like probably one channel I don't like right now. I don't watch like every EverQuest channel, but there's probably just one I don't like right now. But shout out like classic EverQuest and those are people I want to pump up. I want them to get more subs, more views. Like some people don't need it. Like I watch some channels and they're already doing so well that they don't need my little channel to give them shout outs. But like even classic gets more views than me sometimes, but I think he needs more, you know, be cool to get some more subscribers, more views and stuff. Shout out to him. He did a good video the other day about, he's always saying like, so there's always this discussion of, you know, quarm versus P99, and you know, I'm on the P99 side of that. But I haven't played quarm either. I always say that. Like I don't like to poo-poo quarm because it sounds, I've watched people play it. It sounds like okay to me. It sounds like an okay like middle ground between like P99 and THJ. It's not too crazy. It's way closer to P99 than it is to THJ, you know. So I'm cool with that. Like if you don't have a lot of time and you kind of want to go see the next couple expansions, like there's several good reasons to go play Quarm. Like you can trigger like solo self-found and you can make the game harder on Quarm if you want to. So that's cool. There's like more options. So that's why I don't hate it. That's why I don't poo-poo it. I think it's a good option for people. Like I think you could play both. You could play P99 and Quarm. Or if you play Quarm, you're still cool because you could, if you wanted to, you could put certain options on to make the game hard if you wanted to still. You know what I mean? Like I think it's cool. It's like a decent not middle ground, but for people that can't handle P99, but you know what I mean. Like you already did it, and you want to see the other expansions. I think that's the main thing. Like that, I think. Like you want to see what's after Valius, because like he says, some people played the game longer than just classic Kunark and Valius, even though that's like the holy trinity and like the best the game ever was and stuff like that. Some people didn't quit playing at Valius, like they kept going. I think a lot of us did for some reason, and not that it was bad, but I think WoW was the reason for me, which is unfortunate. If I could go back in time, I would stick around longer on EverQuest. I'd like to fully experience Valius at least. Like, I probably should have stuck around at least another year on EverQuest, but all my friends moved just the same as like Classic said. Like all of his friends stayed on EverQuest and they continued to the next expansions. The same reason I went to WoW is the same reason he stayed on EverQuest. Like all my friends went to WoW, so I'm like, oh crap, they're playing this other game now. I guess I'm gonna go play this other game. And that's where I raided mostly. That's where I did my super sweaty, like stay up all night, drive to Kentucky so I could play on a different computer and stay up all night type stuff. That's where I was doing raiding every week at a certain time or a couple times a week, like getting tier 1, tier 2, doing the hardest dungeons, like. But I also only played WoW until a certain point too. Like Blackwing Lair was the last, dungeon I remember. So I kind of go hot and heavy, and then I don't know. But now I have super bad nostalgia for this game, and I really don't for WoW. Not as bad. I remember WoW. I forgot a lot about it though. Like I remember WoW, but I don't like have as much super nostalgia for it as I do for EverQuest for some reason. And maybe it's like the years that you played it. Like, what if we all played it at the same age? Maybe it's just those years. Like it's the years right before you feel like it's like you're not like a little kid, but you're also not like driving and into girls and starting to work. It's like right before there. I feel like it's like the very end of your childhood is super nostalgic. When you have the most freedom, before you have any kind of like adult responsibilities or you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's like when you're most nostalgic for that time of your life, right? Like right before. Like I had a lot of fun when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I definitely appreciate those times and have nostalgia for those times. But as far as games go, what hits the hardest for me is like right before that, right before I was like free to go do whatever I want in the world. I was sitting on a computer playing this game, and it's after I was like a little kid to where I have no freedom at all and I have to do whatever people say. It goes right when you're starting. I don't even know what age, but like probably like 15, 14, 13, like right when you start to be a teenager, I think is the most nostalgic. It's not as hard to remember as when you were like 5 or 4, 6. You have a little bit more freedom, but you're not like out there working and driving and, hanging out with girls and all that stuff. It's like right before, it's like the most freedom you have in the world before you have responsibility. And I think that's the most nostalgic times of our lives, pretty much. Like maybe like right before high school or freshman year or middle school or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think? So this was the game I was playing at that time, most likely. Probably like middle school, maybe freshman, something like that. I don't know. I'm not saying exactly, but I think it's around that time period is the time you're most nostalgic for. Because now we're adults and we have all these responsibilities and we have to do this and we have to do that. And if we don't do this, we're going to lose this. And if we don't do that, we're going to lose that. And if we don't go do this, we're going to get fired. And if we don't do that, we're going to lose our car. And if we don't do this, we're not going to have a place to live. And you know what I mean? So this was like right before that when somebody else has to worry about that and we just get to play EverQuest. Like that was the best time. So that's probably why I'm so nostalgic for this game. WoW was like I was driving. Uh-oh. Dang, I gotta wrap this up. Alright, I'm gonna pause up. I don't know how much time we got left on this. Just 13 minutes. So I'll try to finish it up when I get back, I hope. If not, this might be the end. We'll see, but I gotta go get her because she's ready. And she said, be freaking ready when I text you. She texted me at 10. I texted her back at 10:01. So I gotta go get her. Hopefully I can finish this video up. If not, I don't know what else we got on here. We're kind of looped back around at this point. It kind of is what it is. We made it out. Here, let's 2 times through the rest of it. I might be able to do that real quick. I don't think there's much left. I think we just fight our way out at this point, you know? We looped all the way back around, pretty much. We started at those snakes in part 1, and we looped all the way back around to those snakes right here at the end of part 2. So we got stuck, we swam through, we did the snakes, we did the snake pit, we did the snake ledge, whatever it may be. We wandered around through the Knoll tunnels, we saw the Knoll commander, we wandered through back around to where we first started. We did a whole big circle loop after getting stuck, and we're back out. We're back here. I'll know that there's much more to show anyway. I dinged, he dinged. I think we're both level 10 now on this. Yeah, we're just kind of heading out. I'm walking. Like, I think we're just going to sell. So there's not much to show. We could scrub through it. Like, look, we're just leaving. I'm just selling. Not much else to see. So, yeah, I'm gonna stop it there. If you want to finish my month off, cap my month off, like, I'd really appreciate it. If you want to secure, like, your future, your own future, or my future too, and help me and my family, a super thanks would be amazing, like today. If it's tomorrow, you know, it'll count towards next month, that's fine, but I really need it this month. We had a really bad month. You know, we're kind of clawing our way back. Shout out to Kat, shout out to the chatathons, shout out to DC and CCR, and, you know, everybody, Trey, Sana, Anita, Chad, etc., JM Ricks, everybody. I don't want to start saying names because then I'll forget somebody, and then you know how that goes. But no, anybody that wants to help today to secure it, to secure our future in 2026, I'd really appreciate it. If you listened all the way through to this right here, freaking $1, you know, $2, whatever, I appreciate it. But if not, it is what it is. Hopefully Gems of War keeps us going. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, so you're joining helps a lot. Tell your good about channel comment below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.